I'm Dan Wilkinson.
Megan Volke.
Joe Hobson. Today we are going to talk about benzene sampling. The method that we chose was NIOSH 1501, hydrocarbon aromatic. We will be using a media of coconut charcoal tube with a recommended flow rate between 0.01 and 0.2 and a required volume of minimal 5 liters to 30 liters. It is best practice to ensure that we don't sample for too long or not long enough. So we have done some calculations to ensure that. With our minimal volume, our minimum time is at 34 minutes, and our max time for 30 liters is 200 minutes. At 200, before 200 minutes, we will have to change the charcoal tube to another one if we're going to continue sampling that day. Megan is going to talk next about equipment and calibration.
Hi, so we have our pocket pump, SKC 220-1000 TC. This is a low flow pump, so it's the appropriate range for our selected flow rate. And this has been warming up for 5 minutes as required. As far as the media goes, our coconut charcoal tubes look like that, and we have 2 of them, one for the calibration, flowing the pump, and the second as our sample media. For calibrating, we'll use the SKC Checkmate with a low flow so that we can get an accurate reading and average for our reported flows to the lab. So the first thing is safety first. And we will break open our calibration tube and score the edges and then break the end of the tube off. And then on the pump itself, we're going to verify that the arrow is the direction of airflow desired, so always to the pump. And insert that there. And then hook it up to our Checkmate. Get a good seal. Make sure that's not slipping. And you can see that our flow rate is at 144. So we would go ahead and adjust that. So we're going to wait for that to give us, so we can adjust our flow with the up and down arrows in the calibration menu. So we're at 143. Oops. And you want to make sure your tubing doesn't kink. You get a good flow rate. So Jeff, can I get you to hold this for a second? So we can adjust the flow up. So what's happening is the flow is not going through the media as quickly because the media is creating resistance inside the tube. So we got up a little bit high. So we want to take an average of at least 3 flow rates. So we record, we're at 149.4, and then 149.3, 149.5. So we would take all of those and average them and use that as our pre-flow rate. So we calibrated it. And we can start our sample time. So we're going to pause and have that ready to hang on our worker as soon as we disconnect the media. So this is our calibration media. So that's going to get capped and preserved to do the post flow rate. So we have safety caps, end caps for these to protect anybody handling them from the broken tube edges. Bit of a wrestling match. Don't want to put those on too tight because you have to take them back off later. And then we'll grab our sample media, break the ends off that. And same thing, ensure the airflow is going the correct direction toward the pump. And then we have a safety cover that goes over the media to protect the worker from cuts or from the tube from breaking if it's hit on anything. The airflow goes in through the end of the safety cap. There's a little hole in there, so that's protected from getting clogged out also. And then Jeff is going to hang it on our worker. There you go.
Thank you, Ms. Megan. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here meeting with Mr. Daniel Wilkerson. And the goal overall is to actually perform a sample, a personal air sample or so regarding benzene. Keep in mind that benzene is a highly flammable substance or so. Also, it evaporates pretty quickly. So there's a clear understanding that it has a density level of below 1, meaning that it also can act also as a form of when oxidizer is nearby, it can actually enrich the catastrophic or potential catastrophic type of incident. Overall, our goal is to make sure that we are below the OSHA exposure limit, which is at a TWA of 1 or so. Daniel,
Yes, sir.
good afternoon. How you doing today, sir?
I'm great.
I would like to actually use you as part of our study or so when it comes to sampling for benzene. All right. The information that we have obtained from this sample or so will only be shared between yourself, our department, as well as your supervisor. Your personal information will not be displayed within our facility. So, meaning that your contact information, your social security number, your name, things of that nature. All right. You mind if we actually proceed with actually placing the material on you for sampling?
Go right ahead, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir.
I got you.
All right. As you can see, we now have set Dan up for personal sampling. All right. And it's near his respiratory system, far as like nasal passage area.
Hey, everybody. So we have sampled on the worker here, it looks like. So after that part, we will turn off the sampling pump and then say, thank you, Mr. Wilkinson. I'm going to go ahead and grab this pump from you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. And it's stuck on your belt. I got it right here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. And then here is your sample. So we're going to take it out, cap it for those sharp edges like so. And then this goes to our lab. So we're going to send this to our lab for an analytical sample. That's integrated sampling for you. And then we will get the results, but make sure that you have the date and you have the worker sampling ID and everything to send to the lab with the chain of custody. And hopefully you'll get the right results back as long as you have the flow rates and times correct. So thank you so much. We appreciate your time.